Welcome back to Boom Boom, a podcast for the Baby Steps Boutique. I am Joan, your adorable host, and today we're going to be diving into a crucial topic every parent should be paying attention to: your child's skin and the clothes they wear. Let's be honest. When we think about what our children wear, we often focus on how cute it looks or how easy it is to wash. But what if the clothes we dress them in are doing more harm than good? What if the adorable print dresses are actually irritating their skin, triggering flare ups, or even affecting how well they sleep? The connection between fabric and skin health in children deserves a lot of attention because, yes, it is that deep. And if you've ever wondered why your baby's skin seems to react to everything or what the safest, most breathable materials are, then this conversation is a gentle wake up call. Joining us today is someone who truly understands both the science and the heart behind children's health. Dr. Soliha Pichi. She holds a bachelor's in medicine and surgery. She's PLAB 1 certified and currently works as a resident medical officer in a private hospital. With hands-on experience from her internship in pediatrics, she's worked closely with children and their parents. She's passionate about helping people understand their health in simple, relatable ways. Dr. Soliha Pichi, welcome to the studio.
Hello, thank you so much for having me and making me a part of such an important discussion.
When it comes to a child's skin, the basics matter. Understanding the role of fabric in maintaining skin health is very essential. Why is a child's skin so sensitive compared to an adult's? And what role does fabric play in maintaining skin health?
So, if we talk about a child's skin, it is definitely more fragile, it is more sensitive than in adults, and it is basically due to the developmental differences because a child's skin. It is not properly developed. Like if we talk about the structure, the layer stratum corneum is less developed, and they have an immature skin barrier and an underdeveloped immune system, and these are certain factors that make them more susceptible to allergies and infections. And this is like the main reason why parents have to be very conscious, and they have to be very they have to understand why choosing the right fabric is so important. And they have to understand that the fabric that they're using has to be breathable, it has to be comfortable, and it adheres to the sensitivities of the child's skin.
Is it true that baby skin is about 30% thinner than adult skin?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, a child's skin, as I said before, it's not properly developed. It goes through a lot of stages of development throughout life to attain that mature and that barrier that can prevent from the basic bacterias or allergies. And these are like certain factors why parents have to be like cautious about the clothing or the environmental changes that the child is exposed to.
Okay, let's talk about common skin irritations. While I was growing up, I used to have a lot of skin reactions, rashes, eczema, and my mom had this drawer where she always had her herbal remedies tucked somewhere. She'll just take it and apply on my skin, and within days rather, I would see those reactions going. So every parent has seen their child with a rash or flare up at some point. But how much of that is influenced by what they are wearing?
So, I think it is very important for parents to understand that clothing plays a very important role in maintaining a good skin hygiene and skin health, because their children are very sensitive to even minute allergens, and their skin reacts very differently than in adults. And we normally see lots of like skin conditions like contact dermatitis, rashes, hives, eczema, atopic dermatitis, friction rashes, and like these are very common skin conditions that children present with. And most of it is influenced by the kind of clothing they're wearing. I mean, because there are certain parents that make their children wear polyester, nylon, acrylic, and rayon, and wool, and these type of fabrics. It can like really irritate the skin, and especially in children with pre-existing skin conditions. So yes, I mean, clothing really influences the skin hygiene and skin health, and parents have to be aware of this.
I've heard that eczema affects about 10 to 20% of infants globally. Do you see a rise in flare-ups during certain seasons with certain fabrics? For instance, if cotton is in season, or if polyester is in season, or if latex is in season, do you see certain patients come with more cases during certain seasons when certain fabrics are in vogue?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, because the seasonal use of certain fabrics, it can, present with certain kinds of like skin allergies. Like, for instance, in winters, people use thick fabrics and wool, and sometimes they also use inorganic fabrics, which are grown with pesticides and inorganic fertilizers. And, that can really irritate the skin and cause allergic reactions, and children present more with certain conditions in those season. And especially like when you talk about eczema, yes, it is common in children, and it also has like a hereditary role, because it can be inherited via genes. Some allergen like antigens can be inherited by parents, but like here the role of fabrics is very important, because then parents have to be aware that yes, my child is sensitive to these fabrics, I have to avoid these fabrics, and I have to like use more breathable and organic fabrics. So yeah, I think that is very important.
I read that bamboo is 4 times more absorbent than cotton. Does that help with preventing the sticky, sweaty feelings that we sometimes notice with kids?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, bamboo fabric is like a moisture wicking hero. I think we should talk about its origin a little bit so that the parents can understand the exact mechanism about how it works. So, bamboo basically grows in hot climates, and it has a natural ability to absorb all the moisture that's available for its survival. And bamboo fabric is made from bamboo fibers, so it has similar properties of absorbing moisture, so which is very beneficial for the people who wear this fabric, because then it does not allow any moisture buildup or any odor development. And other than this, bamboo also has antibacterial properties. It has a natural compound which is known as bambucon, which basically is antibacterial, and it does not allow the accumulation of any harmful bacteria on the skin. So, if we compare it with other fabrics that are available, bamboo is way better. It is way breathable. It is very comfortable for children, and it does not require any pesticides or fertilizers for its growth. It is very naturally occurring, as compared to cotton, which is now has an inorganic form, and it requires pesticides for its growth, and it can cause allergies in very sensitive skin.
Every day, we see children who have special allergies or special sensitivities. And with your line of work, I'm sure you see a lot of patients coming with their children, fresh cases every single day. So for some children, allergies and sensitivities are a daily challenge. How much of that is tied to the fabrics that we choose for them? For example, if you see a child who has allergies and sensitivities and they come to you, do you actually ask the parents, okay, what does this child wear at home? What does she wear every day? And do you check the fabric they have on when they come to meet you at the hospital?
Absolutely. I mean, when it comes to allergies, I mean, we have to always exclude the triggers, because there are always certain triggering factors that exacerbates the allergies, because allergies usually are like they're adherent to a person's lifestyle. They will always be present, but they can only control it by avoiding the triggering factors. So we have to ask patients, and if they made their children wear certain kind of clothing, if they went for traveling, if they had a change of environment, because these factors are very important in ruling out the causes and in making our diagnosis, and also in like treating that particular patient. So yes, we do have to investigate the kind of fabric they have worn, and we have to make certain exceptions for them accordingly.
What else do you investigate, and what else should parents be looking for in fabrics to ensure that their child is not exposed to potential allergens?
I think the most important thing would be to understand that the fabric is coming from an organic origin. It do not require a lot of pesticides or, a lot of fertilizers for its growth. And other than that, it is important to understand that the fabric is breathable, it is comfortable, it adheres to the skin sensitivities of the children, it has a good texture, it is durable. I mean, these are certain factors which are very, very important for parents to understand.
This just reminded me of when I was much younger. My mother used to be very sensitive about the clothes we wear, and she used to handpick them. She never let my dad buy clothes for us. So, and she always avoided clothes that had too much designs or too much prints on it. And even when she got something similar to that, she always liked to soak them in salt. I don't know why she did that, but she always did it. I want to ask, right, to satisfy my curiosity. Do fabric dyes and finishes play a role too in potential sensitivities and allergens like cute prints? Could it sometimes be harsh chemicals?
Absolutely. I mean, the kind of dyes that have been used can cause or trigger certain skin conditions. And parents have to understand that whatever clothing they are purchasing for their children comes from a good source. I mean, that is very important, because if the handling of the clothes have not been proper, if they have been using a lot of dyes which are like bad quality dyes and bad quality fabric, and these factors are definitely going to harm their children's skin. And I think that your mother was is a very wise woman, and she was very wise with handling her children's clothes, because I mean, these things like play a very important role in maintaining skin health and in maintaining like a good rapport with their children. Because if a child is happy, if they're comfortable, they are going to participate more, and they're going to be more active, and all of this is eventually going to play a role in their growth.
What about labels or tags? Those things, can they cause a lot of scratching?
Yes, they do. I mean, I've personally experienced that more than anyone else, because whenever I would wear new clothing, I would like be very irritated with the tags that come with it. And I think that this is something that the manufacturers can play a role with. If they want to add tags, they can like just embed the printing on the fabric directly instead of like attaching tags, or they could use like very soft fabrics for the tags, because this can really cause local irritation and friction. And I have personally experienced this throughout my childhood, and it was very irritating. I would always like snip it off, I would cut it off before wearing any new clothing items. So I think that is something, I think this is a very good point. Like the manufacturers can play a very important role with this.
Yes, yes, they can. Let's talk about bamboo, right? You said that bamboo has antibacterial qualities and is good for children and also helps with children who have a lot of allergies and sensitivities. So, I noticed that most people think that the qualities of bamboo fabric is actually far-fetched. Is there any science facts that could back up the antibacterial qualities in bamboo?
Absolutely. I mean, as I said before, bamboo has an organic compound embedded in the fibers, which has antibacterial properties, which is bamboo-con, and it will prevent any accumulation of bacteria, especially in areas which are very humid, where the children sweat a lot, and which are very hot climate areas. And in such areas, these breathable fabrics play a very important role in maintaining good health and hygiene, because they prevent any odor development, and you can wear it for a longer period of time throughout the day, and easily washable. And like, bamboo is like an emerging hero for like parents in this age, and I think the use of bamboo is going to be very extensive in the coming times.
Is there any difference between how bamboo reacts on dry skin versus sweaty skin?
Um, I think that it will be very significant for people with sweaty skin, because, as I said before, it is going to absorb moisture. So it is going to help people who sweat a lot, or who like live in hot climates and hot weathers, and it is going to prevent any odor formation. So like, I think it is important, and it will be very durable for the users or the consumers to like travel or to wear it during the day, during the night. So it would like generally be very comfortable for the users.
We've been talking about fabrics, we've talked about bamboo and cotton. All of these fabrics that parents buy for their children would actually end up somewhere in a washing machine or in a washing bowl. When it comes to keeping the children's clothes clean, the process is very, very important as the fabric we choose. What is the best way to maintain the health benefits of these fabrics?
So, if we talk about the washing techniques or handling of this fabric, I would recommend, like, ideally, I always recommend to wash every fabric after each wear, because, like, that is like the maximum, like, practice where parents can maintain a good hygiene. But I can understand that, sir, it is not possible for parents to wash every clothing item all the time. So I would focus or stress on certain like clothing items like socks, undergarments, pants. I mean, at least these should be washed every day. And about the technique, I would say use a fragrance free hypoallergenic detergent. Wash it in cold or lukewarm water to preserve the softness of the fabric, and avoid fabric softeners, as like they can irritate sensitive skin. And yeah, these are certain techniques that they can practice to preserve the quality of the fabric.
Comfort actually plays a significant role in how well children sleep, because a child who is comfortable will get longer hours of sleep. How much of that is influenced by the fabric that they wear?
I think breathability of a fabric and the comfort it provides is like the main uh, factor that like should influence the choice of parents, and they should always understand that a happy child would be a child who's well rested, who's comfortable, and that child will be able to participate more in activities, would be more active, and would have a better like sleeping pattern, eating pattern, and more like activities throughout the day and night. And I think that parents should understand the link between clothing and all these activities. And I would always recommend parents to go for breathable fabrics so that the child can sleep well. And especially if you reside in areas which are very hot and humid, I think the choice of fabric is very important for like to see the general comfort of the child.
How does a breathable fabric like bamboo influence a child's sleep quality and overall comfort? I mean, aside the antibacterial qualities, is it very soft? I mean, I've never had a fabric made purely from bamboo before. So is it very soft? How does it feel? What does it do? How do children feel when they wear bamboo fabrics?
So it is soft. It is very breathable. It will, you won't feel like you're wearing too much, and it will like, it would not restrict your mobility, it will not restrict your activity. You will feel very like light, and I mean with the right choice of colors and prints, and it will like make you even feel better. So it does influence sleep, and it does influence activity in a good way, if we talk about that. And again, as I said before, it is about the breathability of the fabric. It will not allow moisture locking, and it will not you will not feel sweaty. You won't feel the need of changing your clothes again and again. So that is how it influences the comfort.
The Baby Steps Boutique is located in Uganda, right? And Uganda is in Africa. In Africa, we have very hot weather. The weather is hot and humid. So we are going to talk about families who live in these hot and humid climates. What would be your advice to them on how they should dress their child? What should they balance? What should they prioritize? What should they focus on while dressing their children?
I would always recommend every parent to prioritize their child's comfort, uh, to allow them to like accept their choices, to involve them in their clothing choices, to make them understand what's good for them. And I've seen a lot of people like they're vlogging and they're like filming their children, and they make them wear like horrible types of clothes that are like not comfortable, tight, and they're made of very uncomfortable and inorganic fabrics. And I think all these kinds of things, it irritate the children's skin, it will irritate their children's mood, they will be very irritable in general. So I think parents should always prioritize the comfort of their children. Let them wear what they want to wear. Make them understand how like easygoing breathable fabrics can benefit them. And I think involvement of a child is also very important. Yeah, so just like make these the primary factors while choosing any clothing for their child. Use good quality. I know it can be expensive sometimes, but I think these choices, if they choose the right fabrics and the right clothing, it will help them in the longer run. And it will be long lasting, and it will be of good quality, and it will be like their child's going to be happy and active. I mean, that is like the gist of it.
As someone who works in the hospital, especially with lots of children and their parents, what's one advice you would give them? One advice you think that they miss all the time? I mean, it's not like everyone misses it, but it's in most cases one thing you would like to say to many parents out there.
I think the parents usually don't understand the importance of adapting to their child's personal needs, because I think they have set certain stereotypes and certain standards of like comfort and like class, or what they think is going to look classy and good and expensive. But they don't understand the special needs of their child. Like if a child has special skin sensitivities and is prone to allergies, they must understand the special needs of their child's skin and clothing that they need to attend to, and they have to understand the choice of certain fabrics, and they have to prioritize that, and like move like take a step ahead from the general stereotypes of clothing and fashion. I think this is something that parents do miss. They are like more focused towards the general concept of styling and a general concept of like what is like looks good, but they have to understand the like they have to attend to the special needs of their child.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. Um, we have come to the end of this eye-opening conversation. I think many of us will never look at baby clothes the same way again, not just as cute accessories, but as a layer of protection, comfort, and even health. A big thank you to Dr. Saliha for sharing her knowledge with such clarity and compassion. Her insights reminds us that parenting is not just about big milestones. It's about the tiny, thoughtful decisions we make every day. If this episode made you think, helped you learn, or simply made you feel seen as a parent, please share it with someone who needs it. And of course, follow us for more honest, expert led conversations about children's health, well being, and everything in between. Until next time, keep Keep your babies cozy, your hearts open, and your fabric choices smart.